Hi guys, my name is Taylor and I want to talk to you today about trauma-informed care. Now, I realize that if you're not somebody that works in the medical field, this is not something that is a phrase that you hear every day. So, first I want to let you know that trauma-informed care works to shift the mindset from when you come in contact with somebody, instead of thinking what is wrong with you, to kind of shift in your mindset what happened to you. I do currently work full-time in a hospital setting, and if you or somebody you know does, you often know people come in and they are often dealing with some pretty heavy emotional, physical, spiritual, whatever it may be, trauma, baggage, whatever you want to call it. And oftentimes we look at it of, why is so-and-so in a bad mood today? Or what's wrong with them? Why are they acting like that? When we don't step back and try to look at the bigger picture. So I want to share some statistics with you. And the first statistic is 1 in 5 women have been raped at some point in time. Of that number, 12% were younger than 10 years old when it occurred. Let that sink in. The next statistic I want to share is 1 in 71 men have been raped at some point in time. Of that number, 30% of them were younger than 10 years of age when it occurred. Nearly 1 in 3 adult women have experienced at least one physical assault by a partner. People that have experienced some level of trauma are 15 times more likely to commit suicide. That is some pretty heavy stuff. It's not something that people like to talk about. It's not something that people like to talk to strangers about by any means. So trauma-informed care tries to give you the acknowledgement that when somebody is acting in a certain way, it might not be meant towards you. It is something that they have going on internally. It's an array of things that could be happening. Physical assault and sexual assault is not the only kind of abuse or assault that somebody can experience. We all know what mental, physical, emotional, the list goes on. So trauma-informed care seeks to realize the widespread impact of trauma can have on somebody, whether it is male, whether it is female, whether it's they're young or they're old. I know that there are support groups and things like that to try and help people overcome the trauma that they have undergone, but sometimes that just doesn't work for some people. So trauma-informed care also helps to recognize the signs and symptoms of trauma in patients, family, and staff. So sometimes it's not just the patients. It can be the staff member that's dealing with something that they don't want to talk about, and they seem like they're a little off, and so you come in and you're like, wow, you're in a mood today, when that is not the way that we should be coming off, because we don't know what anybody is going through at any given point in time. And the biggest thing about trauma-informed care is to help actively prevent or avoid traumatization. There we go. Because if your one conversation that you're going to have with somebody, or the way your interaction goes, is going to change how that person feels, it makes them want to talk, anything that's going to help them feel like they can open up or avoid having those feelings and not being able to talk about them, it may just be one person, but that could have a ripple effect. So I highly suggest that we all just be a little bit more open-minded. If this is something that kind of strikes an interest with you, it's definitely something worth looking into. It's not just at hospitals or medical facilities. This is things that are done in schools as well to help with kids. because as those statistics showed, a lot of this does happen in the younger generation. So I really think being trauma informed is a big thing, and it is definitely something that I felt like I needed to advocate about. Thanks.